Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to our channel. Over the past week, Mecca has experienced a catastrophic flood that has brought immense turmoil to the holy city. The global community and the people of Saudi Arabia were taken aback as Mecca was submerged in rising waters, leading to the interruption of religious practices, the destruction of properties, and the displacement of pilgrims. As experts attempt to unravel the underlying causes of this incident, people are wondering, is this mysterious flood a manifestation of divine judgment, or a naturally occurring disaster? And what can be done to mitigate such events in the future? Let's find out. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia houses the two holiest cities in Islam, Mecca and Medina, which hold immense significance for Muslims worldwide. This nation, deeply intertwined with the Islamic faith, serves as a sanctuary for millions of believers. Nevertheless, this desert kingdom grapples ceaselessly with the formidable forces of nature. While droughts, scorching temperatures, and arid conditions are not unfamiliar to the region, recent occurrences have left local authorities stunned and disrupted worship in this profoundly religious nation. The recent destructive windstorms and devastating high rainfall have resulted in catastrophic floods that have ravaged the holy city and its inhabitants. In response, Saudi authorities are currently attempting drastic measures to mitigate the situation, as Mecca now finds itself submerged in rising waters. To unravel the mystery surrounding this event, it is crucial to delve into the factors that have shaped Saudi Arabia's weather patterns over time. Saudi Arabia's weather patterns are significantly influenced by its geography. The country is predominantly arid with vast desert areas. Saudi Arabia is home to some of the largest sand deserts in the world, like Rub al-Khali, also known as the Empty Quarter. The country also boasts an extensive coastline along the Red Sea to the west and the Arabian Gulf to the east, and these coastal regions have a significant impact on its weather. The desert climate in Saudi Arabia is characterized by extreme conditions. During the day, temperatures can reach scorching levels, while at night they drop to very low levels. Rainfall is scarce, and sandstorms are not uncommon. To better understand the climate, Saudi Arabia can be divided into two main regions: the coastal areas along the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf, and the interior regions. Coastal areas like Jeddah and Jizan experience a more moderate climate due to their proximity to the sea. The humidity levels are higher compared to the interior regions, and temperatures are generally milder. Summer highs range from 30 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Winters are colder than the desert region, but the humidity makes it feel more uncomfortable. These coastal areas also witness occasional rainfall, particularly during winter. On the other hand, the interior regions, including cities like Riyadh and Khobar, have a harsh desert climate. Summers are scorching hot, with temperatures often exceeding 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and rain is rare. Winters can be freezing at night, although daytime temperatures are relatively mild in Saudi Arabia. Sandstorms, dust storms, and occasional heavy rainfall, leading to flash floods, are regular occurrences, especially in desert regions. Strong winds lift and carry fine particles of sand and dust, reducing visibility and making it difficult to carry out daily activities. Dust storms are most common during the transitional seasons of spring and autumn, when there is increased atmospheric instability and convective activity. While the frequency and intensity of dust storms can vary, they are generally more prevalent in the northern and eastern parts of the country. In addition to the arid conditions, Saudi Arabia also experiences sporadic but intense rainfall, particularly during winter. Although rainfall is infrequent overall, when it does occur, it can result in sudden and powerful flash floods due to the aridity of the land. These floods are often associated with convective thunderstorms that develop rapidly and release large amounts of water within a short period. While these rainfall events are important for replenishing water sources and supporting vegetation growth, they can also pose significant risks to infrastructure, agriculture, and human settlements in areas that cannot quickly absorb such large volumes of water. Saudi Arabia faces the risk of scorching heat waves, which can be harmful to people's health. The combination of high temperatures and low humidity levels during the hottest months of the year can lead to heat-related illnesses and discomfort. It also strains the country's energy resources as the demand for cooling systems increases. In recent times, Saudi Arabia has experienced some unusual weather patterns that have captured public attention. For example, there have been reports of snowfall in the northwestern parts of the country, which is quite rare. These events have sparked discussions among the public about the potential impact of global climate change on Saudi Arabia's weather patterns. The arid desert climate, sandstorms, occasional heavy rainfall, and high temperatures have always posed challenges. But no one was expecting that would be Mecca submerged in catastrophic floods. What are the most devastating flood incidents that Saudi Arabia has encountered? With the changing climate and human activities, floods have become a growing concern in many parts of the world. Even in Saudi Arabia, a country known for its dry climate, floods have become a regular occurrence and pose significant risks. These floods are now considered an annual disaster, causing widespread damage and having a major impact on the affected areas. So, why does Saudi Arabia experience such a high frequency of floods? Let's take a closer look at some of the flood patterns in the nation. In November 1985, Saudi Arabia faced heavy rainfall in the northwestern regions, resulting in what has been described as the worst flood in that area in half a century. Streets were submerged in over a meter of water, bringing life to a standstill for 3 days. Jeddah and the surrounding areas suffered widespread destruction and loss of life. The heavy rainfall overwhelmed the drainage systems, leading to extensive flooding in many areas. The impact was devastating, resulting in the loss of many lives, damage to thousands of homes, and severe harm to critical infrastructure like roads and bridges. In 2009, another catastrophic flood struck the city of Jeddah. Once again, the flood was caused by an unusually heavy amount of rainfall, resulting in flash floods that overwhelmed the city's infrastructure and caused widespread devastation. The city's drainage systems were ill-equipped to handle such a large volume of water, leading to flooding of roads, neighborhoods, and public facilities. The sudden onset of the flooding caught many residents and authorities off guard, exacerbating the severity of the situation. Human activities, such as rapid urbanization and inadequate urban planning in Jeddah, also played a role in worsening the impact of the disaster. Encroachment upon natural water channels altered their flow and capacity to handle heavy rainfall, compromising the environment's ability to absorb and manage the excess water. In 2010, another flooding incident occurred, although not as severe as the 2009 flood in Jeddah. Nevertheless, it had a significant impact on the affected areas. Heavy rainfall in Riyadh caused rivers to overflow their banks, resulting in floods and car accidents throughout the city. The following year, in the same city, another water disaster struck, resulting in tragic loss of life and widespread disruptions. This event was part of a series of flash flood incidents that had been occurring in Jeddah since 2009, indicating a concerning pattern of recurring floods. In response to these events, a systematic review of emergency planning for flash flood responses was conducted in Saudi Arabia. The aim was to assess the effectiveness of emergency plans, using the floods in Jeddah in 2009 and 2011 as a case study. The results were sobering. For several years, it seemed that strategies to mitigate the frequency and impact of flooding were effective, as the nation experienced a respite. However, heavy rainfall in 2015 affected different parts of the country, indicating that the strategies were not foolproof. The rainfall was a result of a complex weather system that brought intense rainfall in a short period, leading to rapid runoff and the accumulation of water in low-lying regions. Insufficient maintenance of drainage channels and impermeable surfaces in urban areas further hindered the water's flow, resulting in localized flooding and inundation of specific areas. Efforts were made to address the issue, and for over 7 years, the nation experienced a break from the scourge of floods. Unfortunately, in August of this year, tragedy struck again. Distressing videos shared on social media showed cars stranded on flooded roads, and individuals bravely stepped forward to guide these vehicles. The streets were filled with rainwater, causing widespread traffic disruptions. The most affected area was the mosque environment, leading the authorities to temporarily halt prayers to carry out necessary maintenance work. The causes of the August 2023 flooding in Saudi Arabia can be attributed to a combination of natural and human factors. Reports from reputable sources, such as the World Meteorological Organization and the National Center for Environmental Prediction, indicate that the flooding was a result of intense and prolonged rainfall. These weather patterns were likely influenced by broader climatic conditions and atmospheric factors that favored the occurrence of heavy precipitation in the affected regions. Witnessing the consequences of such flooding events is disheartening. Despite our awareness of the consequences, nothing truly prepares us for the severe damage to infrastructure, wasted manual labor efforts, displacement of people, and most painfully, the loss of lives. What are the consequences of the flood on animals? What led to this terrifying submerging of the holy city? The devastating consequences of floods extend beyond their impact on human populations. Local animal populations also suffer greatly from these natural disasters. One of the primary challenges for animals is the disruption of their natural habitats. Floods can completely destroy critical areas, such as nesting sites, food supplies, and shelter, forcing animals to search for resources in new locations. This displacement often leads to heightened competition, conflicts with other animal populations, and increased predation risk. Furthermore, floods can result in the loss of vegetation and soil erosion, further reducing the availability of animal food and shelter. The direct threats posed to animal populations by floods are numerous. Animals unable to escape rising floodwaters may suffer fatalities, especially those not adapted to aquatic environments. Additionally, floodwaters can carry debris and pollutants, posing health risks to animals and potentially causing illness or poisoning. From a wildlife conservation perspective, floods can have long-term implications for vulnerable or endangered species. Habitat destruction and population displacement can further endanger these species, potentially leading to declines in population numbers and genetic diversity. To mitigate the impact of flooding on at-risk populations, conservationists may need to intervene by relocating animals or implementing habitat restoration projects. In addition to the direct impact on animal populations, floods also disrupt the food chain. and resource availability for animals. Aquatic species may experience changes in water quality and nutrient availability due to flooding, affecting their survival and reproductive success. Terrestrial animals, on the other hand, may find their food sources submerged or washed away, leading to scarcity and the risk of malnutrition. Addressing the increasing frequency and impact of flash floods in Saudi Arabia requires a comprehensive and effective approach. Both local and national authorities must thoroughly study and understand the causes of floods, including both natural and human factors. By doing so, they can strategically implement measures to reduce the risks associated with these natural disasters. Unfortunately, human actions contribute significantly to the occurrence of floods in Mecca. One major factor is the rapid expansion of cities and infrastructure. As urban areas grow, natural landscapes are replaced by impermeable surfaces, such as roads, buildings, and parking lots. This inhibits the ability of water to seep into the ground, leading to increased surface runoff. Consequently, rainwater flows over the land, overwhelming drainage systems and natural waterways during heavy rainfall. Inadequate urban planning and development also contribute to flooding. Sometimes cities expand without considering flood risks or implementing proper stormwater management measures. This can result in construction in flood-prone areas and changes to natural drainage patterns, exacerbating the impact of heavy rainfall events. Poorly managed construction practices, such as improper land grading and insufficient drainage systems, can cause localized flooding. Additionally, improper disposal of waste and debris can clog drainage systems and water channels, further hindering the natural flow of water and increasing the risk of flooding during intense rainstorms. Furthermore, human-induced climate change plays a significant role in altering precipitation patterns, leading to more intense and unpredictable rainfall events. Greenhouse gas emissions from industrial processes, transportation, and energy production contribute to global climate change, which in turn increases the likelihood of flooding in various regions of the nation. To mitigate the devastating consequences of floods, a multifaceted approach is required. Firstly, establishing robust flood management and early warning systems is crucial. By utilizing advanced technology and real-time data, authorities can predict flood events and issue timely warnings to the public, enabling people to prepare and evacuate as needed. Strategic urban planning and infrastructure development are vital in managing flood risks. Proper drainage systems, flood barriers, and zoning regulations can help prevent construction in high-risk flood areas. Green infrastructure, such as porous pavements and green spaces, plays a role in absorbing excess water during heavy rainfall, reducing the chances of flooding. Public awareness campaigns and community engagement are also significant. Educating the population about flood risks and emergency preparedness empowers individuals to protect themselves and their properties during floods. Proactive ecosystem restoration and conservation efforts contribute to flood mitigation by preserving wetlands, restoring riverbanks, and implementing reforestation initiatives. These measures regulate water flow, reduce erosion, and enhance natural resilience against flooding. Investing in resilient infrastructure is crucial. Retrofitting existing buildings to be flood-resistant and integrating resilient design standards into new projects helps adapt to evolving flood risks. Considering climate change in infrastructure planning, enhancing coordination among governmental agencies responsible for disaster management, as well as attending to the more vulnerable like the poor, women, and children. The recent flooding in Mecca has also had a profound impact on pilgrims. exacerbating the challenges they face during their spiritual journey. The flooding has disrupted the usual flow of worship, causing significant difficulties for pilgrims attempting to perform their religious obligations. The inundation of the holy city has led to the closure of sacred sites, making it difficult for pilgrims to access and engage in their rituals. Moreover, the flooding has resulted in the destruction of infrastructure and accommodation facilities, further complicating the pilgrimage experience. Pilgrims have had to cope with the loss of belongings, displacement, and uncertainty regarding the availability of basic necessities. Adding to the turmoil, reports of insect infestations in the region have heightened the discomfort for pilgrims. The presence of insects creates additional challenges, such as hygiene concerns and discomfort during prayers and rituals. These combined circumstances have undoubtedly taken a toll on the physical and emotional well-being of pilgrims, potentially dampening the spiritual experience they had hoped for in Mecca. If you enjoy our content and want to support us, click on the Super Thanks button below. Your super thanks is not just a donation. It is a blessing that supports our mission to share the transformative journey of Jesus.